Howdy chums, my name is Mohit and people, today we are going to talk about styling tables with call group tag, the call tag and the call span tag, specifically call group and call tags. We must remember that there are only 4 things that we are allowed to do as far as styling is concerned with the table columns, either individually or in a group, and those 4 things are, or the 4 properties that we can actually change or alter are: set the background color, set the width, set up a border, or control the visibility, and that's it. Right, so let's start and see what I mean by that. I'm gonna say file, new, right? Let me choose a layout. Let me go with this layout, which is 1 column, fixed, centered, header and footer. Let me hit the create button. Cool. The first thing that I would want to do is let me delete a lot of text right at the top of the page. Just highlight it like so and hit the delete button. Okay, now whatever is above this H3 tag logo replacement is something I would want to delete. Let me just get rid of it. Okay, so in effect, whatever I'm dropping in now, the table that I'm dropping in now, is actually being dropped in the division called division of the class content out here in line number 95. So let's drop in a table. Let me say file, rather insert table. All right, I'm happy to go with 3 rows and 3 columns. The table width as 400 pixels, absolutely all right. The cell padding is 10 and the cell spacing as 0. Please don't keep cell spacing empty, because different browsers will react to it differently, will understand it differently. So we'll keep the cell spacing 0 rather than empty. Cool. And I can skip the caption and the summary, which are actually optional. As far as the header is concerned, I would want the top row to be the header. Cool. Excuse me. Okay, let me hit the refresh button, and I'm sure you can actually see the table now. So let me just fill in just about anything right in the table. So I'm going to say 1 space, tab 2, tab 3, tab 4, 5, 6, tab 7, tab 8, and tab 9. Cool. The next thing that I would want to do is let me just go to the live view and have a look. Okay, it isn't quite looking like a table, is it? I'll go back here, right click and say save. Let me save the file up. Let me call it a table itself. Beg your pardon, that's a TAPLE. Right, table.html. Let me give it a title of table as well. Cool, that's a table. Right. Okay, next people, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit the opening table tag out here. Okay, or I can alternatively select the table tag here. Just click on the table tag out here. Let me click on this plus button to generate a new CSS rule or create a new CSS rule. Automatically, the contextual selector type will be set to a compound, and a descendant rule will be created. It says the new rule will apply to all table elements that are within the class content that are within the class container. Cool. And it will be saved, the new rule definition will be saved in this document only, basically creating an internal or an embedded rule. Right, let me say okay. And the only change that I would like to make out here is 20 pixels of margin all around, and let me say okay. Right, you can see now the table has actually displays itself from the top and from the left hand side. Cool. Next, give me a minute. Right, so let me locate the opening table tag, which is out here in line number 98. Right, momentarily, let me go to the code view. Okay, so this is the opening table tag. Cool. Now what you need to do is just hit enter once, right? And let's insert call groups. So opening call group tag, okay, which also means that I should have the closing call group tag, and sandwiched in between I'm gonna have a call tag, okay, a column tag, which is self-closing. All right, and then out here in line number 100, where we have the opening column, basically I'm going to create groups of columns now, right? So I'm going to say span equal to 2. What this means is, please kind of fuse or join the first two, or consider the first two columns of the table. That is what's, or please span the first two tables of the table, first two columns of the tables, I beg your pardon. And then I'm gonna give it a class of style1, which I'm yet to create. I'm gonna create in a moment now, right? And then I'm gonna copy lines 99 through 101, Control C. I'm gonna hit enter out here, Control V, hit enter twice. Okay, now there's just one column left, people. Column are those vertical you know, structures. Let me go to the design area. This is column 1, this is column 2, this is column 3. So those vertical structures are actually the columns, the horizontal structure are the rows. Okay, let me go back to the code view, and this time I'm gonna say span just one column. We just have one column left. Okay, even if I don't say span is equal to 1, that's absolutely all right. By default it's always span 1, whether I write it or not. Cool. And the class I would want it to be, let's say, style2. All right, I have, so in effect what I've done so far is I've actually created two column groups. The first column group actually spans, let me go to the split view, the first column, this one, and the second column, this one, right? This and this, it spans two columns, but the third column group just has one single column inside it. Cool. Back to the code view. Sorry. And next what I'm going to do is I'm going to create these two styles. So I'm going to click out here in line number 100 where you see style1. Let me click the plus button. Automatically the contextual selector type will be set to a compound, and a big descendant rule which will be created, so which will be affecting style1 inside call group, inside table, inside class content, inside class container. Cool. And it will be an internal or an embedded rule as well. Let me say okay, and all that I'm going to do out here is go to the background color, and let's say I would want a background color of corn silk. People, we have around 144 color names that can be used instead of using the hex code or the RGB or the RGBA color model. I think we have yet another color model which is hue saturation. I'm not so sure. Anyways, let's not talk about the color model right now. So the background color corn silk, and that's it. So I'm gonna say okay, and let me go to the split view and then go to the live view. You can actually see that the first call group, which has two columns to which style1 had been applied, have turned themselves into this color, because the style clearly said that the background color should be corn silk. Right. Let me save the file up. Let me go to the code view once again. Right. Let me go back to this time I'm going to make yet another style or a class by the name style2. So let me highlight, or rather click out here you see style 2, let me click on this plus button. Again, a new descendant selector is shown up out here. I mean, affecting style to inside call group, inside table, inside content, inside container. It's a compound rule. It's an internal or an embedded rule as well. Let me say OK, and this time the background color, let me say I would want it to be blanked almond. Blanked almond. Almond, the almond where the skin has been removed, is called the blanked almond. So that color that you get, the nice brownish color, is the blanked almond color. So let me say OK, and if I go to the split view to show it to you, people have a look out here. This is the blanked almond color. So what has happened now is one group has acquired the color conceal, the other group has acquired the color blanked almond. Okay, now what I'm gonna do next is, let me come to the live view. Let me select the table like this, right? Let me right click on the edge. Let me go to edit tag table, and out here you see the rules. I'm going to drop down and I'm going to select groups. What this means is, please apply rules or a ruler, or rulers are vertical or horizontal lines where you have the groups. So very clearly we have two groups, the first group and the second group. The first group is the one containing two columns, the second group is the one containing only one column. Let me say OK, and let me go to the live view, have a look out here. Now the two groups have been divided with this vertical ruler. In fact, I'll get a much better view if I go to preview it up in Chrome. People, now this is the preview. It's a little different from what you actually see inside the Dreamweaver interface. Very clearly you have this vertical line, but you don't have a box border around, which was actually showing up in Dreamweaver. So a big lesson to learn out here is always check things out in the browser rather than rely on what you see in Dreamweaver. Anyways, let me get back to Dreamweaver, and now I'm going to make one more change. Okay, I'm going to come off the live view. I'm going to click on the edge like this. I'm going to go to edit table, edit tag table, and this time I'm going to say frame box. So I want a box or a frame for the table basically. Let me say OK. Now this will insert a border all around the table, as we'll soon see in the preview. Okay, I'm sure you can see the border all around, the box all around the table now. Cool. Right, let me get back to Dreamweaver, and in the end I'm going to create one more rule. Okay, I'm going to locate where we have the call group tag. I'm going to click on this plus button out here. Okay, this new rule is a compound rule targeting call group within table, within content, within container. Now container and content are actually divs with classes. Right. Okay, next what I'm going to do is I'm going to say OK. Again, this is an internal or an embedded rule, and this time I'm going to go to the, let's say, the border category. Now if you remember, I clearly told you that we can control the visibility, the borders and the background colors, and there's not much we can do with the call groups, the call tags, etc. So yes, we can control the borders, and let's see how. I'm going to say let's say a rich and a medium, and let's go with the default color. Let's say OK, and see, this is the way the things look like right now. So basically a very nice border, it's actually improved from the last time. All right, so as we can see, we can control borders too, and in the end, people just like to tell you what a call span is. That's the only thing that is left, is for us to understand what a call span is. So let's say if I were to fuse two columns like this, if I were to select this column and this column, 4 and 5, these two cells, if I were to select them through the drag, and then go out here, you have this button to merge these two cells using spans. Now merging using spans, how does it actually affect the code? Let's just see that. Let me click out here. You can see it fuses the two cells. Not only that, you can see the text inside also fuses. And if you actually have a look in the code area, you can see that it's actually taken off one TD, but it's inserted a call span attribute which is equal to 2. So basically a table data spanning 2 columns. This is what it actually means, and it's fused the text. You see out here, it's fused the text, right? And cool. So let's take a preview in Google Chrome to see how things look like right now. Right, so you can clearly see that the two cells have been fused. If you're still confused, if you still don't think the two cells have been fused, let me prove it to you. Let's separate the word 4 and 5 like so. Let's hope it works. Okay, let's take a preview up in Google Chrome. Right, so I hope that it clearly shows that the two cells have been fused. What I can do is let's select this much, right, and let's go with choose a background color this time. Right, let's take a preview in Google Chrome. Right, now this clearly proves that yes, the two cells have been fused properly. So people, I hope I've actually conveyed very clearly how the call span, the call group, and the call tags or the elements actually operate. So I hope you liked and learned a lot from this tutorial. You have a good day, people. I'll see you soon. Bye bye. Peace.